Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. This video is a kickoff for my Create Where You Are September kit of the month. And the kit of the month this month is Love of Leaves. And now Create Where You Are means just that. You create the projects wherever you are. For me, I'm at home in my stamp room. I'm using the Love of Leaves bundle for the class. So that's the Love of Leaves stamp set. And then the Stitched Leaves dies. There are 13 dies in this set and they are really cool. So not only can you stamp one of the images out of the stamp set and die cut it, you can also add this really cool stitched detail to the leaf if you so desire. And then here's just the plain leaves that aren't stamped. And then we have this really cool kind of background stitchy piece that creates a look like this. So you just have that fun stitching. So the set of 13 dies and the stamp set, this is what we're using to create all the cards in the class. When you purchase my kit, my Create Where You Are kit of the month, you will receive a half a pack of the plaid tidings paper. That's 2 pieces of each pattern in the kit. You'll get a package of holiday rhinestone basic jewels. You'll get 2 yards of our bumblebee in color ribbon. You will get the wrapped in texture embossing folders. If you have these, you can certainly substitute something else. Just let me know what you'd like. Of course, it would have to be the same price. And then you're also going to get a quarter pack of our brand new brushed metallic cardstock, which means 2 6x6 pieces of each pattern, of each color. We have bronze, gold, and copper. If you want to add the Love of Leaves bundle to your kit, you can do so for $56. If you just want the kit itself, it's $45. Now, in addition to all these products that you'll receive in your kit, you will also receive the cut cardstock pieces to create 8 cards for each of 2 designs. One of them I am going to create for you today. I'll have all the details below the video for you to sign up for the class. Here are the supplies for one of the cards. In your kit, you will receive, of course, the card base, the card layer, and then scrap to do your punching and die cutting. And then you will cut your own designer series paper to fit. So this is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And to start off with, we are going to emboss with one of our embossing folders the top of this layer of cardstock. So we've got the wrapped in texture folders here, and I'm going to use the one that has the little kind of dotty pattern. And I, of course, am going to bring in my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I will show you how to work this. So there's my folder. Here is our brand new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You are able to purchase this now. The machine is very compact. You can see the platforms just fold up very nicely, leaving you with the machine like this. We do have a nice handle to carry it around. Of course, then the turning handle. And on the bottom, there are some little rubber foot pads. And now sometimes these little rubber foot pads will collect dust off your stamping table or hair. And so I just take a piece of Scotch tape every once in a while, and I just tap that onto those little rubber feet to remove all the little bits that might cause it to start sliding around. Okay, so it sets on your table very nicely. It's very sturdy. The platforms fold flat to touch the desk surface, so the thing is not going to move. It's a little bit, it's not super heavy, but it just has some substance to it. It is a steel machine, and so there is a lot of substance to it. So the machine comes with, of course, the machine, and then it also comes with all of these platforms. They are all numbered. So we have 1, 2, 3s, and 4. The main platform tells you what you need to do your die cutting and embossing. It tells you up here, if you're using thin dies, which of course we are today, how you build your sandwich. If you are using embossing folders, you want to put them through Hinge first, and then you do get 2 different ways to run their folders through, depending on if they're 3D or standard. So for a standard folder, which is what we have today, we're going to have our number 1 platform. We are going to have a number 3 cutting pad. We are going to have our paper inside of our folder, and then another number 3 cutting pad. Okay, so then we are going to make sure that we are sending this through Hinge first, which we are, and we will just run that through the machine. All right, and then here is our amazing pattern that we get with that. So let me put this aside for the moment while we get some stamping done. So now we're going to bring in our layer of vanilla, scrap of vanilla. I've got 3 ink pads for this card. I've got Pretty Peacock, Cajun Craze, and Bumblebee. And I did take this color combination from the paper itself. Here is one of my designer series paper reference charts that I do have. And I do sell these. If you are interested in purchasing these, you get all 12. For the holiday catalog, there are 12 different designer series paper. You get the printed white cardstock. You get rectangles of all the patterns. You will then cut those in half, flip one, and adhere it to the paper. You also get the color swatches also. So I happened to see these 3 colors sitting together on my chart, and I thought, you know, those look great together, and they happen to match a pattern in the paper. So that's what we're going to use. So I've got my 3 ink colors out here. So now I've got some stamps. All right, so all these, of course, are stamps in the stamp set. And I'm also going to bring in a foam mat since I'm using photopolymer stamps. So we're going to ink that up. And I just see that I have some on my finger, so had to clean that off. I don't want any accidents. All right, so then we are also going to stamp this longer leaf in the Pretty Peacock. Okay, and then the small leaf here also in the Pretty Peacock. And then this larger leaf in the Bumblebee. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to set those aside, and I am going to close up my ink pads. And you'll notice on these stamped images that it almost looks like they're blotchy and not completely covered. They are designed like that. You can see on the front here of the case that they are designed to look a little splotchy. So we have a little bit of variation in the tone on that, which makes them look a little more realistic. So now we're going to bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in, and we're going to die cut these. Okay, so I have trimmed apart my leaves, and I am going to place them on my platform. But I have the brand new magnetic plate that Stampin' Up! Has come out with, and this is the most amazing plate. This is an entire sheet of magnet. This whole thing is a magnet, and it has a self-healing surface. That's what it is. So it's got a self-healing surface. This is what you cut on. So you will want to like rotate your dies around on it so that you're not always cutting in the same spot, because it's a self-healing surface. It will wear out eventually, and then you would need to replace your pad. So you want to like take turns putting your dies on different spots on the plate every time you use it. So how we use this is this replaces one of our cutting pads. So on our platform, it tells us with thin dies, we need our platform, our number 2 pad right here. And then we would need 2 cutting plates and our die and paper. But we're going to substitute our bottom cutting plate for this magnetic pad. And this magnetic pad is so much better than a pad we've had in the past. Actually, the dies actually stick on this. The pad that we had before was filled up with a bunch of small magnets, and so if you weren't careful, your dies would shift because the magnets would pull them. So we need to bring in the rest of the dies, and we'll get the plate all fixed up here. Now I have my dies set together. So I have 2 dies here. I have the outline die, and then I have the inside die, and I just put them together with some washi tape because I've been using them like this a lot, and I really like that. So if I decide I don't like to use the stitching anymore, it's easy just to pop that piece right out. So I will put the rest of the dies on here. There we have it. So I've got all my dies on there. They're not shifting. I'm going to put my top cutting pad on, and then I'm going to send it through my machine. There we go. And now we will pull our pieces out. And look at that. Amazing. So cool. And they all just stuck right on there. They didn't move around. Yay! All right, so let's get these over to our project and put this away. But I will show you, as you can see, with the self-healing mat, there are some designs in there, and that is going to happen every time you use it. And so, like I said, you just want to make sure you move them around to different spots on the plate each time you use it. All right, so now we just need to do some assembly. So first of all, we're going to add our designer series paper to our layer that's been embossed. And I've got a little bit of seal here that I will just put on the back of my designer series paper. And then we'll just layer this onto our front piece. I'm not going to press it down super hard yet because I might want to tuck some of my leaves underneath there. So I thought maybe I would put that one here. That one could go back, and actually what I can do is I can just cut them off, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got that pressed down. Then we're going to take some of the ribbon and we're going to wrap that around. And I just use a couple pieces of Scotch tape to secure that to the back. So we're just wrapping it around the seam where the designer series paper hits the cardstock layer. There we go. And then we can start adding our leaves. So this one, like I said, I think I want to kind of go behind. So I'm going to snip off, whoops, I'm going to snip that stem off. So I'll just tuck that behind. This little guy I am also going to tuck behind, so we're going to cut off some of that as well. And then this one is going to go right here on the front, like so. So we can go ahead and start adding these. We'll put some seal on the back of this guy. Whoops, I think my seal might be out, so let me replace this with a new one. So I'll just go ahead and show you how to do that since I've got to do it anyway. So you just want to take it out of the package, the refill, and then there's these 3 little holes that you would just pop right back on there, and then just close your case and make sure that you have glue starting at the front there, and then just pull it off. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll add a little bit to that one. This one I think I'm going to pop up on some dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and add a few dimensionals to this. Okay, and we'll just kind of set that about like so. This little guy I am going to just stick right on the front. About like so. And then I wanted to add a tiny bow with the same ribbon. So I do have one tied here, but I'll show you how I do that. I just make a loop, and then I make another loop. I cross the two, and then I bring that one underneath and through the hole. Oh, good Lord, that did not work. So I make a loop and another loop. I cross the loops, and then I bring that one through. And then it's just a matter of manipulation, getting the knot or the bow as big as you want it and getting the ends where you want them to be. So I've got a little one here that I've already made, and I'm just going to attach that with a glue dot to our little set there of leaves. Okay, so we'll just kind of set that right there, and then we'll just trim off the ends. And remember, you're going to get two kits in your package to create 2 of this exact same card. Of course, you can do it however you want, but you will get the supplies to make 2. And then you'll have the designer series paper and the ribbon. And we're going to be using some of the rhinestones here in just a second. And of course, you'll get the folders too. So you'll get everything you need. Again, the kit is only $45. And if you want to add the bundle, you can add that for an extra $56. And all the information will be in the description of this video. And while I'm thinking about it, please give my video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. That really helps out my YouTube channel. And then subscribe down here in the corner where there's a little doohickey for you to subscribe. And then please be sure to click that notification bell so that when YouTube sends out their notifications, you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Finally, for our sentiment, I have a little scrap here of Very Vanilla. How wide is this? This is 3/4 of an inch. And I have a sentiment out of the stamp set that says, "I thought of you today," which I thought was a really nice sentiment. So we're going to bring back our Pretty Peacock ink. And we're going to stamp that right here close to the edge. There we go. And then I'm going to snip off the end, and I'm going to bring in our little banner pick a punch. And this has spots for 1/2 inch strips of cardstock, 3/4, and 1. So we'll use the 3/4 slot here for our, and I like to slide that in, and then I do like to flip it upside down just to make sure that it's gone in nice and straight. And then we'll get that out of there. Oh, I think we need to trim off just a little bit more. That looks a little bit too long here. I think we need a little cheater piece. Hold on. Here is a little cheater piece. We're going to put a tiny bit of adhesive right there on the end. And then we're going to feed this with my cheater strip into the punch. Ah, yes, much, much better. Okay. Whoops, but I want to be able to see my sentiment on there. So we're going to flip it upside down and then slide it in. So I want to make sure that I'm not cutting off any of my sentiments. Maybe a little bit farther. And my little cheater strip here is working beautifully. There, that's perfect. And then we'll just pull that off. We'll go ahead and add a little bit more seal to the back of this. And then we will just add it right down here at the bottom of the card. There we go. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of our holiday rhinestone jewels. And I thought I could use some of these fun yellowy colored ones along with my take your pick tool. And I got a couple right here. So we'll just set one. Oh, where? Well, definitely we're going to kind of go up here, maybe on the leaves actually. And maybe we'll just actually just put them on the leaves. What do you guys think? Or maybe right below the leaf like that. How does that look? Or do we not like that? And we want them in between the leaves. What's better? Maybe in between the leaves might be a little bit better. That does look a little better. All right, so there it is. The card is completed. So please sign up for my Create Where You Are monthly class. I have a new class every month. As always, if you need any supplies, Stampin' Up! Supplies, you can get them with me at shoppingwithbarb.com. Use my monthly host code and get yourself a free tutorial. And thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great day.